We are off to the mythical country of Sarkhan, which was the subject of The Ugly American. When you compare the book and movie, you'll find the places and people are different. Before we get into these differences, we're going to look at the movie and how it is viewed differently by Westerners and Asians. For Westerners, especially Americans, Sarkhan in the movie is Vietnam. For Asians, especially Thais, Sarkhan is Thailand. The movie was filmed in Thailand. Kukrit Pramong, who plays the Prime Minister, went on to become the Thai Prime Minister from 1975 to 1976. The Thai language is used throughout the film. Sarkhan became an ironic slang term for Thailand in the years afterward. While the filmmakers were unlikely to have known much about Thai politics, their movie was a starting point for many conversations in the country. As we compare the book to the movie, we can see differences in the time it takes place and the characters. The movie is a contemporary story set around 1963 when it came out. The book came out in 1958, but mainly looks back to 1954 and 55, when French Indochina was becoming independent countries. Interestingly, both the book and the movie carry the popular perception that each was made before the war really got going. The book appears in our video about the Vietnam War as a 1950s pop culture, and with the link in the description, you can see that the fighting was well underway by 1951. The book has many more characters than the movie. It is more of a collection of short stories than a novel. The movie is taken from one chapter of the book. A businessman returns to Sarkhan and renews a friendship with a local comrade-in-arms from World War II. He finds that his old friend has become a communist. In the movie, the businessman is gone, but his story is taken over by Marlon Brando's Ambassador McWhite. Unlike the book, the movie does not have any colonial powers. Beyond these choices, the differences between the movie and the book are a catalog of mistakes. Here are 3 of them. Number 1. The title of the movie doesn't make sense. Homer Adkins is the ugly American in the book. A chapter and the book are named for him. He is physically ugly, and the title is a play on a famous photograph of a drunk tourist in Cuba. Homer lives in a village, speaks Sarkhanese, and opposes big aid projects. He tries to explain to the American expat bubble that people would rather have their lives improved in smaller ways. In the movie, Homer is not ugly, and he is in charge of a big aid project, Freedom Road. He is downgraded to an extra with a few lines. Without reading the book, you would never know that he was the title character. Number 2. Casting Marlon Brando. With his very narrow range, he could play lower-class characters, either introverted like Terry Malloy, or loud and in charge like Stanley Kowalski. He could not, however, play Ambassador McWhite, an older patrician who was thin, restrained, and physically fit. Brando was already getting fat by 1963, and his voice was the same as ever. Although he was costumed to resemble a younger Alan Dulles, he could never look or sound like a diplomat. Number 3. The communists are different. In the book, the Russians are very culturally sensitive and learn the language wherever they go. The Chinese are very welcoming and excellent hosts. The communists in the movie are rough villains. Everyone can see it but the locals, who need the Americans to explain it to them. Have you read The Ugly American and seen the movie? What did you notice?